about to go down.
It's lovely pass, and here he turns cleverly. Can he find a finish? Oh, he can!
Skilled by Joshua, and a return right hand. Good counter right. Bullen is hurt. Second right hand. That clipped him as well. Now he goes in for the kill.
Well, Ricciardo is inching into the lead, and Ricciardo that win the Italian Grand Prix!
Iguodala running the floor.
Still leading the way with Canada in there too, with the Netherlands.
And Musa makes it 4 goals in 2 World Cup matches.
The Monaco Grand Prix! Ricciardo triumphant in Monza.
Through Bowden, Barrett, and an early touch and an excellent.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
The Nigerian talking about the NFF are actually considering replacing coach Gernot Rohr with Krstajić of Serbian at this point in time. That is actually making the wave in the sport world. Also, the NFF has been given ultimatum for them to actually submit the 2022 World Cup qualifying report, technical report to the sports ministry. Also, one man is coming out to say Gernot Rohr is not the best man for the Eagles job at this point. We're also going to be looking at what former international is saying, that his concern is for Nigeria to qualify to the 2022 Qatar World Cup in that particular one. Also, we look at cricket, and also we go straight to Kogi State, and also we end this particular sport orbit right with the sacking of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and what really went them over the weekend in the English Premiership. This is how I welcome you to yet another edition of Sport Orbit right here on the Leadership Podcast Studio. My name is Olawale Ayeni, and I'll be your host for today. As you can see, the studio Alpha is here for us to actually strike together. How are you doing today? How was the weekend?
Yeah, well, it was fine. As long as I'm concerned. No, why are you laughing? Yeah, it was a fine weekend.
Very
as long as I'm concerned. Yeah,
relief.
Then, let's say, are you still trusting the process?
Of course, the process is still there. At this point in time, a certain man was on the wheel, but I think the wheel is no more there. So at this point,
but a certain man too will have been trusting the process.
Of course, but
still trusting the process.
The process is still on the process anyway. But before we jump into what is actually happening right here in England, let's quickly go to look into what is happening right here in Nigeria, where the NFF are actually considering, hiring Serbian coach, talking about Krstajić as the new coach of the Nigerian Super Eagles, following the rumor that Coach Gernot Rohr might just be leaving the job due to the disappointing run of the Nigerian Super Eagles during the World Cup qualifier and also the Nations Cup qualifier. But looking at this Serbian coach, we thought NFF is going to look inward. We have so many brilliant coaches in Nigeria. But at this point in time, certain Serbia has been tipped to replace Gernot Rohr. Just look at his pedigree. He has not a coach top side when it comes to football, and they're actually going for certain Serbia. That was the same thing when we actually went for Gernot Rohr. He did actually coach big coaches, but the NFF still went ahead to sign Gernot Rohr.
Yeah, that's the thing, this news came out, I think it was like Friday, Thursday night, when, of course, Peter Zaida had revealed on the sports group program on Super Sports that he was fully aware that the NFF had contacted a certain Serbian coach, which he refused to name. And when he was asked on that show if he was sure, he said, yes, of course. I mean, for someone who had worked through the NFF, he was sure he knew what he was saying. And of course, reports have come out to reveal the name of the Serbian Krstajić. And when I saw that name sometime yesterday night, I tried to check his pedigree and all that, but there was really nothing.
Nothing.
So NFF is just trying to make a mistake. If you are trying to remove the current manager that Rohr and bring somebody else, bring somebody who has some certain level of pedigree.
Of course.
Not
Bringing a roadside,
exactly
a roadside
coach
coach.
for another one or for someone even worse. Because I thought maybe he must have coached maybe some renowned teams in Serbia or maybe, but he doesn't even have any of those kind of experience. So it could be that someone in the NFF maybe knows his agent or something. You know how these things work in Nigeria, and maybe he's trying to play fast on Nigeria. So
The question is, must we really appoint a white coach
that is what I'm saying.
to actually lead the Nigerian
We have
Super League?
coaches. I mean, there's an Olysik there, there's an Amunike there. Left to me, if you ask me, give Amunike this job. The other day, I think on Friday, I was just speaking informally with some friends, and they were like, "Do I really take Amunike to deliver on the job?" I was like, "Why not? Even Eguavon did well, won a bronze medal. So why won't Amunike at least get us to the World Cup and at least do well in the Nations Cup, even if he doesn't win it for the first trial?" So the issue of bringing a certain Serbian Krstajić, I really don't know where that's coming from. But of course, the NFF haven't really come out with a particular proper statement to deny or confirm it. So that's why, in a way, a lot of people are believing, what Peter Sainida said. But for someone like Gernot, yes, he's still the coach, but I think his time is up to, some friends over the weekend reacting to the sack of Gernot said, we also have his brother here in Nigeria.
Of course, waiting to be.
Yes, he has gone. So let the Nigerian soldier to make way for someone else to come back, and even if it's on an interim basis to steer the ship to the next level.
Because one source inside the NFF, who does not want his name to actually be mentioned, actually said we have not taken an official decision yet, but the Serbian coach is one of the coaches we are considering for the job at this point in time. That is what the source is actually saying. But let's just wait and see how it gets to plans out. Maybe in the coming days, the news of course we will get to know the true picture going forward. Still talking about surrounding the Nigerian Super Eagles, the federal government talking about the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sport. They have actually directed the NFF for them to actually submit a technical report on the team, the Super Eagles, qualification campaign during the last group qualification campaign to the 2022 World Cup at this point in time. And something actually gets to me when this particular statement was signed by the permanent sec of the sports ministry, talking about Alhaji Ismail Abubakar. He said something. I have to read this quote at this point. The NFF knows that any plan to hire another coach will start with first briefing the ministers to federal government about those issues and bringing a closure to it to avoid any embarrassing Nigeria. Secondly, the decision to hire anybody as national coach must be discussed and undergo review. The Super Eagles is Nigeria's property, not a premier club. So, are you trying to say that any coach NFF must send at this point in time, the sport ministry must give it ahead? Don't it actually look it as an interference in the part of the government?
Well, we said that here several times, whether we like it or not. Every other federation, be it the NFF, whatever, are more or less, what is it called now? Agencies under the Ministry of Sports. No matter how we try to sugarcoat it and all of that, because every now and then we always see that interference coming from the Ministry of Sports. And they do this because when the NFF needs some certain level of funding, they always run to the Ministry of Sports, who channel those requests to the government. So if it comes to this kind of decisions and you say no, NFF should not get involved, it doesn't make any sense, because on Thursday the minister came out clearly to say that they are actually waiting for the report of the NFF concerning Gernot Rohr to see the steps taken, because right now as it is, the federal government has actually gotten into the matter through the Ministry of Sport. But that's how
the chance will be asked, what technical report do you need when you have all the score line during the Nigerian matches and during the World Cup campaign? The judge are just asking what
it goes beyond the score line, what we see happen on the pitch. You see, everything we see happen on the pitch, there's a lot of background things that go on before we see what happens on the pitch. So, of course, the NFF has a technical committee, and the responsibility of that technical committee is to, look at these issues. They analyze games pre-match, after games, what happens. So they are the ones who are in a position to really analyze Rohrs tenure. So that's what the NFF, the Ministry of Sport is actually looking for. So they are waiting for that technical committee of the NFF to bring out their report to see that, okay, in the tenure of Gernot Rohr, this is where he has failed, this is where we need to make changes. So NFF, like the minister actually said, whatever recommendations the technical committee brings out, that is what they are going to use to act to take a decision concerning Gernot Rohr. So what I would like you to know, the Ministry of Sport is like the supervisory ministry over even the NFF. So let's wait for that technical report and see what the NFF has to say.
Towards the end of last year, we also when Gernot Rohr actually reviewed his contract, and the sport ministry wanted to actually bring a certain former Tottenham coach, talking about Rebna, went to actually bring him on board, but though the powers that be in the NFF and actually with some link with the presidency, actually didn't allow that to actually put through, but at this point in time. But let's just wait and see how the NFF, due to the fact that from the situation of things now, is like the hierarchy in the sports ministry and also the people in the area of affairs in the NFF are not really gelling together. That relationship for me, my own personal opinion, is no longer there. That what we used to see. We saw, 2 weeks ago, there was the committee, inaugurated by the sports minister as to actually overfare, the development plan for football. No representative of the NFF was part of that, inauguration, and also there has been.
It's looking like there's a crack,
of course,
in their relations.
So let's wait and see how it gets to pass out. So talking about the Super Eagles at this point in time, former Nigerian international talking about Julius Agawa. He's saying Rohr cannot bring out the best in the Super Eagles player at this point in time. Let me quickly just go to school. If you talk of the players, the talents are there, the players have the capabilities, but we are not having the coach to bring out the best in this player. I saw a couple of players that we are not supposed to be in that team. That day I was talking about the match against Kipling. We do not have a playmaker. I think somebody was wearing the playmaker's number 10 jersey, talking about Joe. But when you saw how they play, he could not carry the ball to drive with the ball and go and make the opponent before the visit at the pass. At this point in time, Julius Agawa is saying that the teams lack creativity. Do you actually not believe in that in the particular?
I mean, even on this forum, we've said that so many times. Rohr has been, like someone said, that's why repeatedly a lot of people have said, this is only the Nigerian Football Association. He has done his best to help us discover. Credit to him, sincerely speaking. He has done well to discover a lot of players who, before he came, wouldn't even consider playing for Nigeria. He has brought, he has brought a lot of players to the national team. But different coaches, different people have certain jobs. Sometimes some people are good at discovering talent. Gernot Rohr is good at that, but harnessing this talent and taking them to the next level is another thing entirely. So I think he has done a good job of discovering those talents. But now we need somebody with superior technical ability to harness this talent and take us to the next level, which we don't have right now. And I got upset that we have said that several times. Even in the last game, the last 2 games, we said completely that. I mean, we do not have. It's lacking. The Eagles play now. You don't even see
the pass,
nothing.
The defense, they just lost.
The Eagles,
the ball to the attack.
The last time the Eagles are playing a football match, and you see our side holding possession for like 3 minutes. It's from the back to second. Does a long pass to transition from defense to attack. No playing out from the back. No build up. No high pressing. So there's really no complete technical. So I mean, for someone who has played under different coaches, he knows what he's talking about. He's been in the game for a while. So that's why I say, look, we have Nigerian coaches who, if you give them this job, will do a better job. So I mean, there's nothing new about saying that we sports journalists, fans, and lovers of Super Eagles have not said that Agawa is saying. So I really think that it's time that the NFF and the Ministry of Sport actually do what is needed to rectify the situation.
Of course, the NFF must actually do what is needed to actually remedy this quagmire. So many people will say that we have actually found ourselves with Coach Gernot. But at this point in time, we'll go for a short break. When we come back, we'll be discussing. My worry is for us to qualify for 2022 Qatar World Cup. This is actually coming from an ex-international. Wait for the short break to know who is actually talking about that. But you can actually to come on the show by telling us who do you want the NFF to sign as the next Super Eagles coach? I feel you just want to actually feel your pulse in that particular. But for now, we're going to short break. When we come back, we still have a lot to talk about on sport on the Dongle.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
From that short break to so sports all be right here under the Leadership Podcast studio. We head straight to the news actually coming from former Nigerian international talking about Gernot. He's saying my worry is Qatar 2022, not Super Eagles next coach at this point in time. Let me just quickly read his quote. I have heard so many recommendations, but I'm not bothered about who is the next Super Eagles coach. My major concern at the moment is for us to qualify for the 2022 World Cup right there in Qatar. Even if the NFF had Jose Mourinho, but we will fail to qualify for the World Cup, that would not make any sense to me. If an unknown coach delivers the ticket, that is what I am interested in. That is actually coming from Gernot. At this point in time, Gernot also is a technical committee of the Nigerian Football Federation, and him actually getting to say this line, I am not bothered about who is the next Super Eagles coach. It means that Gernot is actually leaving that particular job.
Yeah, I mean, he might say he's not bothered about who is the next coach, but for some of us, we are bothered. He's saying, how do we deliver the World Cup ticket when we don't have someone to take charge of it? So that's the point. So I really don't think his statement makes plenty of sense. The truth is, we need someone who can really create a proper identity for the Eagles. It goes beyond. So, I mean, look, when do we get past this stage of just going to the World Cup?
Of course.
And just participating? So is he trying to say
NFF get to put up
exactly
the bogus budget?
Yeah, so is he saying that once you qualify for the World Cup, then it's fine? They will go to the World Cup and come out of the first round as always. Look, Nigeria has gone to this will be our 7th World Cup. 8th World Cup, actually. So, I mean, Nigeria has gotten to the stage where we should be thinking of how we target. If we are qualified for Qatar 22, whoever is playing as coach, minimum. We've had countries in Africa say they are qualified for their first World Cup and made it to the quarterfinal. Same thing for Ghana.
You almost even got to the second.
Exactly. So if Nigeria is going for their 8th World Cup and we are still talking of just go there. In fact, you're saying quarterfinal, so we even say, let's make a step forward and take it to the semi-final. See this our 8th World Cup. Of course. Are we going to continue like this? Keep qualifying for the World Cup just to go and show face? Then another 4 years again, we will group again, struggle to qualify. We should be going for the World Cup to make an impact, not just going to. And a lot of time we go there, we don't even play well there. Sometimes we struggle, make it to the second round. And when last did we even make it to the second round? 2014. Exactly. Now we are fond of. We just go there. We kind of like a participating team.
Of course, we go there and win the best jersey.
And we win the best jersey. I want like the last time. So we tell back for Garba. Yes, it's important to qualify for the World Cup, but I think it's more important whoever is coming in as coach, if nobody is coming in, if you still want Gernot to be there, if he's going to take us to the World Cup, he should be given a proper target. Gernot, take us to the World Cup and get us to a certain
He was
stage.
giving target in Russia. He didn't actually meet up the target.
So why was
He was
fired?
giving a target to Egypt 2019.
What was his target?
Bronze medal. I think it was semi-final. I think final.
So he made it.
Yeah, he actually met the target for.
So let's say he signed a new contract. The target of the contract was get us to the AFCON, qualify for the World Cup. But in the middle of the road, the NFF are trying to change the purpose, which is now becoming difficult. Like from a report I heard during the weekend was that the NFF actually met with Rohrs lawyers, and they are saying, well, fine, if you want to fire him, pay him a compensation of $2 million. That's what they are saying, because you must pay compensation to the Ministry of Sport, or does NFF have that kind of money to part ways with Rohrs to pay $2 million? Even if they might have that money, like I said, will they be willing to pay that kind of money for someone who has not distinguished himself, who has not really performed, to pay that kind of money and start all of that?
Why do you have to go? Why do you have to go ahead
and renew his contract?
And renew his
There
contract
were so many opportunities.
with a good sum of money being paid on that contract. Why?
There are so many opportunities of the NFF firing Gernot. Because if you remember, after the Nations Cup, his salary initially was $50,000. They said, okay, we are going to reduce it to $45,000. And Gernot accepted. They gave him some conditions, and every condition they gave to him, he accepted. Who don't
want to accept it for the 5,000?
So the NFF said that this was a red flag, that the man was ready to accept anything as long as he's getting some money. So now the NFF now are caught between the devil and the blue sea. And now we are trying to find ways of how to terminate his contract. But it's become more and more difficult. So let's just see how we can see how it goes with the expected report from the technical committee.
Of course, just too bad that one coming, front and back due to Coach Gernot contract. For me, we have a whole lot of coach in Nigeria. We can actually make do with Mana Manike, with Salisu Yusuf. Also, we can actually bring back Sunday Olusegun.
Yeah,
of course, we can even bring
it. Of course, give them a chance and let them.
You can even bring the three of them together. Sunday Olusegun, Mana Manike, Salisu Yusuf, but let's see, they can actually
bring in some guy from Serbia who we don't know his coaching pedigree and all of that.
Even the coach that actually won the Nations Cup was still our own coach. Talking about Serbian Krstajić. He won the AFCON 2013. He took us to the second round of the World Cup. So I don't see a reason why the NFF can actually appoint a local coach for the Nigerian Super League. Let's just wait how it gets out to Panza. Away from football right now, we go to cricket, where the Nigerian Yellow Greens actually failed to win a single match at the ICC T20 World Cup qualifier that actually went down in Rwanda over the weekend. They lost the last match to Tanzania by 69 runs on Sunday in their last match. Means that Tanzania won the toss and elected to bat first, sending Nigeria to the field. So it means that we are not going to qualify to the ICC T20 World Cup in that particular one. Sad one. We actually appointed a new coach at the tail of last year, and we actually expected that the coach will actually take us to a greater height when it comes to cricket in Nigeria. But at this point in time, it's the painful thing said. It was even a foreign coach that was actually appointed, and at this point, they are still, they are still in this mess at this point.
For some kind of sports in Nigeria, for something like cricket, I see Nigeria as an emerging country when it comes to cricket. For some sports, you might want to just cut the team some slack.
Tanzania.
No, of course. When it comes to cricket, Tanzania are better than Nigeria. When it comes to support, I don't really. We are trying to get into cricket. It's not a sport where Nigeria is now a force to reckon with, even in Africa. We know the power brokers when it comes to cricket.
Of course.
We're talking of South Africa, Namibia,
Of course.
Zimbabwe. In fact, the Southern African region, basically, when it comes to cricket, it's like rugby. So for Nigeria, I think we're just trying to make an inroad into cricket. So for this will be just like a learning process for us. It's just like if you look at India, for instance, if India does not qualify for the World Cup, I don't think the citizens of India will be surprised or unhappy, or Sri Lanka, because it's really not their sport. So for cricket, of course, I mean, they always have to win,
of course,
not just to participate. So it's just like that when it comes to football for Nigeria. So going into cricket, for instance, for me is an emerging sport, especially when it comes to Nigeria. Really, how many Nigerian kids really want to play cricket? So I think that if you who wants to should be given the right support. So I feel this is learning process. Maybe next time around they might be able to do better and all of that. So I really don't think it's anything to really be unhappy about at this point in time.
We don't really have the Nigerian Cricket League. What I used to say
because
is we just have some pocket leagues
organized
by
like
some
said,
bodies and all that.
Cricket has really not really taken root.
But we have a whole lot of players.
Yeah, we do. But
I know Lagos, Ricky Rickard, they normally do
the same thing.
Cricket League and all that.
Yeah, but it hasn't really taken root in Nigeria. I mean, apart from maybe Lagos, some pockets of players here
in South Africa, the country.
If you go to some places and talk about cricket, we don't know what you're talking about.
Kaduna also, they are very good when it comes to cricket.
Yeah, but it's still an emerging sport in Nigeria. So a lot of Nigerians have not really taken it that serious to really start. And even for the investors, haven't really taken it serious cricket that serious to start saying, okay, let's put our money in this sport and make sure that our team go to qualify. So I think we need to give this sport some time to really grow in Nigeria for us to start talking about winning games, winning titles, and all of that when it comes to cricket.
Because let's say pounds down to all the best to the Nigerian Cricket Federation as let's say in that bid to actually develop the game right here in the country. Away from cricket, we return straight to football. We head straight to Kogi State at this point in time, where the coach of Kogi United, talking about Afolabi Ode, has called for support from stakeholders as they actually will get to seek their quest to qualify for them to actually get a promotion to the Nigerian Professional Football League for the very first time in their history. Looking at Kogi United, it actually baffles me when Kogi United have not actually get to play in the NPFL in their history with the caliber of some players and also the caliber of the levels for development in Kogi State.
Like what players do they have?
Of course, they have good players in Kogi United. It's just so sad that they never went relegated from the NLL to the lower league, all boiled down to this, lack of support. But at this point,
that tells you the quality of players they have in that team. But good for them bringing.
But I've been seeing them, getting to protest left and center over salaries.
The truth is,
and when you don't get to pay these players, how did they get to perform well at the field?
Yeah, the truth is, I think Kogi United is also an emergency when it comes to the NPFL. Like you said, they're just even relegated from the NLL. But it's good that they brought in a coach who, according to what we're hearing, is a Tottenham trained coach. So we hope that he brings that experience he learned from London to all the way to Kogi to help them and see how they can secure an MPFL ticket, because if you can go all the way to secure a coach with his pedigree from what we're hearing. And
he has coached Man United, he has coached
that's what I'm saying. I mean, so he must have some kind of pedigree. He understand how the Nigerian football system works, he understand the MPFL. So it's now left for the government to support him, because most times when you bring a good coach, you also need the materials to work with, the support, financially, and of course the human materials to work with. So it's left now for the state government to give that support to bring in the kind of legs they need to make that push to the MPFL and see if they can actually gain promotion come next year or in another 1 or 2 seasons.
Of course, Jekuli has been playing, some friendly match there and there. He has actually been doing
well. How has the results been so far?
He has been doing well. I saw some. He actually won 5-0, 9-0. Some teams in Kogi. Of course, you have to start from your own zone and see. Of course, you have to start
the biggest team in Kogi State. So of course, when they meet those minnows in Kogi State,
that
They should be trashing them like 5-0 and all of that.
Of course, let's say it bounce out. The NLL, we don't actually have the kickoff date yet, same thing as the NPF.
Yeah.
But let's just wait and see how things against the bounce out for our coach objectively. But away from that, we quickly head straight to the following scene of the news that actually broke yesterday that Manchester United have sacked, and a coach, and about only the social, and at this point in time, they actually begin the search for a new manager that will actually take all the affairs of that particular club. Alpha, quickly, let's get your reaction. Sack of Oligo Social. Is this spot on?
Spot on. I mean, we said it here on different on this program severally. Right from that loss against Liverpool, it was something that it was a matter of when and not if. So everybody saw it coming. So I don't think it's a surprise. I mean,
was the player working against him?
Well, sometimes in football you never know what happens in the background. But of course, there was unrest in the dressing room clearly, because like after the game against Man City, some players came out to say that we were lacking proper tactical direction from Ole and all of that. So I mean, it was something that a lot of Man United supporters and even the club saw coming. But it's just so sad that the club took a long while to take the decision, because now one or two coaches who they were eyeing are now engaged. Because if they are taking this decision a long time ago, they wouldn't have been in this crisis. And even given the 2-week international break, some people thought that during that period they would have been able to fire him and make arrangement for a new coach, but they still left him, thought that maybe let's give him some time and to see if he can perform well. But
in your own opinion, who is the best man for the job at this point?
No, right now, sitting right here, I really can't say seriously. But I just think Man United needs someone who is tactically sound. Because the truth was spoken, Ole did what he could do for United. He got to a point where, as a coach, you can there's a limit where you can take a team. You can take it to a particular point, and after he ran out of ideas. So we just need someone with a superior tactical ability to take the club.
Of course, coaches like Borussia Pochettino has been lined up. Benjamin Rodgers.
I mean, he has
Leicester City has been
press conference.
lined up.
I mean, if he was to take over the United job, I mean, he'll be ready to take over the job.
So even Zinedine Zidane has been actually lined up.
But reports, but I don't know how credible those reports are. Reports say that United have actually reached out to him, but that he is not interested in United job at this moment. So I don't know how credible those reports are, but definitely in the next couple of days, I'm sure before the next game against, of course, Michael Carrick has been asked to take over an intermediate job. Of course, they have the games in the right way. So I'm sure between now and the coming weekend, I'm sure a decision might have been taken.
Of course, Coach Oligo Solskjaer was actually sacked after the game against Watford. We saw Watford actually
was actually
struggling for survival. Actually charged the Man United 4-1 right there at the Cottage Road in the English Premiership. But quickly, let's look at the results of what we went down right there in England during the weekend. Chelsea actually started the English Premiership after the international break with a 3-1 victory. 3-0 victory, trashing Wilfred Didis and Kalichis Leicester City in that particular one, right there at the King Power Stadium. Aston Villa also wins the new coach talking about Gerrard, getting to beat Brighton 2-0 in that particular one. Burnley and Crystal Palace actually shared this point 3-3. It actually ended in that particular one. Newcastle versus Brentford. Also, Newcastle new manager also gets a draw in that particular one, the first game. While Smith.
Actually, also a new manager. Former Aston Villa manager.
Now actually getting a win 2-1 against Southampton. Watford is actually talked about that 4-1 victory over United. Wolves actually quenched the fire of West Ham. David West team actually went down 0-1. It's starting Rodriguez actually was the one that scored that particular goal. Why Liverpool hammered Arsenal 4-0 right there at the Anfield. We thought that Arsenal were going to show that the process was still there, but at this point in time, Liverpool has all the answers. And despite the fact that the club and Arteta wanted to actually go, physical in that particular, but the club actually showed that Mikel Arteta is superiority on the field of play. at Liverpool getting to hammer Arsenal 4-0 in that particular one. In the game that was decided yesterday, Manchester City actually defeated Rohrs Everton 3-0, while Tottenham Anthony Conte actually tested his first victory in the colours of Tottenham Hotspur. They defeated Leeds United 2-1 in that particular Alpha Free. Let's get a reaction in all these matches.
I mean, good games. I mean, for me, I wouldn't say there was any surprise really. Of course, Liverpool, Arsenal, of course, a lot of you always predict that Liverpool will come away with a victory now, especially playing at Anfield. Maybe I could say what was a bit of a shocker was, of course, the Watford game. Of course, even if Watford were going to win the game, I didn't expect to see a 4-1 score, a score like maybe they want to draw that, respective. Of course, Wolves, West Ham, yeah, that's another bit of a surprise. I thought West Ham were going to continue their fight on. Then, of course, Steven Gerrard coming away with, his first victory as testing his first victory as manager of Aston Villa. So, good games went down. I think everything is looking delicately poised right now to see. But
of course,
sad to see that United are in 8th position. This was a team that we initially were looking like title contenders, but
they're looking at middle of the top, middle of the table. But quickly, let's look at the log of the English Premiership at this point in time. Chelsea are the league leaders with 29 points after match day 12. Manchester City also follow closely with 26 points. Liverpool 25, West Ham 23, Arsenal in 5th position despite their loss against Liverpool with 20 points. Wolves 19, Tottenham 19, Manchester United in 8th position 17. While at the likes of Leicester City 15 points, Everton also 15 points, sitting in 11 and 12. Quickly, let's look at the teams at the bottom of the English Premiership table at this point in time. Okay. I think I just have to go through see, but there are going to be changes in a few coming weeks. Alpha.
I mean, this is just game 12, so lots of matches still to go on. So, of course, the Premier League is always full of twists and turns. So, of course, as the weeks go on, I expect a couple of changes to still happen.
Of course, in 6th position is Aston Villa. Steven Gerrard must actually work to see that he gets to move Aston Villa from the bottom 5 to the league table. Leeds City in 11th position, in the 17th position with 11 points. Burnley with 9th position. They are sitting in 18th position. While Norwich with 8 points. Actually, they have with 8 points, they are sitting in the 19th position, while the likes of Newcastle are yet to record a victory in this English Premier League campaign, just have 6 points from 12 games. It shows that we need to actually work.
Yeah, so like I said, plenty of games to this is just match days now. I mean, over still left with about something games. So the Premier League is always very full of surprises. So at the end of the day, let's go and see how it goes.
Of course, thank you, Salif Usman, for sending your comment. He says, "Good work, guys. Thank you, for coming on the show. This is the package for Sport Orbit today. That's been nice, talking sports with Alpha actually right here in the studio. Of course, our viewers, thank you for watching. We'll make a return tomorrow, bigger and better. We get another mouth-watering edition of Sports Orbit. Thanks to my producers talking about Oscar and Danny and the rest members of the crew. But for now, I'm saying bye-bye. Do have a lovely day ahead of you.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.